Hello, hello, and welcome to the channel of the Moon's Prophet. Today, I feel moved to share some messages for the end of Saturn's retrograde cycle in Pisces. On the evening of Thursday, November 27th, 2025, Saturn goes direct in Pisces. And it's a really big deal because since March 2023, Saturn in Pisces has been teaching us to build from faith. We have been learning how to create structures by dreaming, envisioning, attracting, aligning. In Pisces, Saturn has been teaching us to act without acting at all. Now, they may sound odd. Most people know Saturn as the disciplinarian, the taskmaster, the one that gets us up early and keeps us up late, pushing toward our dreams. All of that is true. The Saturn in the sky corresponds to an inner Saturn, something I like to refer to as the maturation function. It's the part of us that knows how to do the hard things and how to delay gratification to get us where we want to go. See, in its essence, Saturn is a yang energy. That means it goes, it acts, it drives. In Pisces, Saturn acts a little differently because Pisces is a yin energy. That means its power is rooted in attraction, in pulling what it wants toward it. What is yang pushes out, and what is yin pulls in. And in Pisces, Saturn has been teaching us how to build from yin powers that come from the dream and imaginal realms. See, there is nothing that Pisces cannot dream up. That's because Pisces has the faith of the Fool. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. This is the 0th card in the tarot deck, the Fool. The Fool is the one who leaps into the void, laughing, joyful like an infant, high off the knowing that in every moment of this journey, we are divinely guided and held. So there is nothing to fear, and there is everything to gain because there are no stakes. Bone deep faith. That is one of the superpowers of Pisces. Another superpower is its boundless imagination. Bone deep faith and boundless imagination. Put these two together, and Pisces can dream up the most improbable realities. And through the faith of the Fool, Pisces makes the improbable inevitable. So how do we harness this energy? People ask me this question all the time. How do I harness the power of the planets and the stars? Well, the first thing to know is that whether we consciously engage the planets and the stars or not, we receive their support. Even people that do not believe in astrology at all, they too receive the support of the planets and the stars. So just want that to be clear. But of course, if we engage consciously, we can receive more power and energy from them. We can become magicians. And there are countless ways to do this. And I will speak about as many as I know over the course of these videos. The one that I want to speak about today is a good place for people to start if they're asking this question. And it is to connect to the part within that corresponds to the transiting planet that you want to receive power from. So in this case, it's Saturn. So we connect to the yang energy within us that's structured and knows how to go out and do things. And we leverage the the strengths of that part of us. So that's discipline in this case, that's structure. And using those gifts, we create spaces that are aligned with the energy of the sign that the planet is in. So Saturn is in Pisces, so we use discipline and daily commitments or just regular commitments. And we use those things to create Piscean spaces so that we can receive Piscean power. Piscean spaces are like meditation, visualization, drawing, astral projecting, painting, anything creative, artistic that connects us to the muses, those are Piscean portals. So we get disciplined about putting ourselves in Piscean portals. And by doing that more and more, we receive more and more of Pisces' power. And it gets easier and easier for a yang energy like Saturn to root itself in yin Piscean power. So suddenly we are able to build from a space of faith, right? To exert yang energy from yin knowing and intuition. And we're able to do that because we become disciplined about meditation and visualization and all of these things. So Saturn gives to Pisces to receive Piscean energy into itself. It's a holy transmission, like a cycle. You know, a couple nights ago, I dreamt that I lost 2 teeth. Yeah. The first came from the back and it fell right out into my hand and it was bloody. And I could see the roots, and the roots, they looked like the roots of a tree. And then the second tooth that fell out was one of my bottom front teeth, fell right out into my hands. And when I looked at it, I saw marble columns and a canopy and a fountain. It was like there was a mini cathedral in my tooth. And my twin was there. And I turned to her and I said, I got to get them back in. And she said, that's not possible. And I said, no, I got to. There's got to be a way to get them back in. And she looked at me and said, there's no going back. They're dead. You'll have to get new ones. The horror of the dream woke me up. I woke up grasping for my teeth. See, from the Piscean space of my dreams, my unconscious was telling me that I am in a moment of transformation. Certain Saturnian structures are leaving my life, and there is no going back. It's already done. Saturn retrograde invites us to reconsider and release. Like teeth falling out, there are structures that are disappearing themselves out of our lives. Poof. I offer to you these questions. What have you been relearning since September 1st, when Saturn retrograde entered Pisces? And how do those relearnings connect to a larger story of faith and vision that began in March 2023? Let me say that again. What have you been relearning since September 1st, when Saturn entered Pisces, retrograding into it from Aries? And how do those relearnings connect to a larger story that began in March 2023? This is important to consider because between now and February 2026, when Saturn enters Aries, we will be given opportunities to show that we know how to weave form into flow and flow into form. We will be given opportunities to demonstrate, to prove that we have learned how to get serious about our play and how to get playful about what feels serious. Pisces may be the end of the zodiac. And also, every big beginning begins from a dream. And now is the time to release what is already over and done, to rewrite the contracts that no longer make sense, and to cut the cords that want to be cut. Saturn in Pisces is the loss of structure that prepares for a new structure, a structure built from faith and vision, a structure built from the part of you that is ready to rise. So rise. I send you all courage and clarity and compassion as we move into this next chapter of Saturn's journey through Pisces. I will see you next time.